finds you well. I hate to say that this past few weeks I had a lot of time to think about life and death. I had the privilege of walking with my best friend as she walked with her mother through her last week of life, and being like a second mom to me, just walking with her and being in the ICU with her. It was very challenging, and one of the things that really struck me was the truth of Benjamin Franklin's words that really the only two things guaranteed in life are death and taxes. In the ICU, we saw so many people just come in and out, in and then out, in really, I hate to be morbid, but in a bag. And seeing some people sit through their last days without a loved one, without anyone there, and seeing some people go through with their loved one just grieving and mourning and not having any hope, it made my friend and I realize the hope that we have in Jesus. That as we spent that last week with her mother, we were able to ask her, do you know Jesus? Are you ready to meet your Creator and be with your Lord? My friend's mom, being stubborn, had said no, but a lot of that had to do with not knowing who's going to care for her only child. And so I can imagine that as a mother, that would be really difficult to be in her last days, wanting to be with her child. But my friend and I were able to sit there with her and pray with her, comfort her, take care of all of her needs. And we had this assurance of the Lord's timing, that this timing was perfect. And we also had the assurance that she is free from pain and she is free from suffering and that she is with her Maker. And so it made me think of what it would be like in heaven, when she passed. And when I was little, I used to be creeped out going to funerals and seeing dead bodies. But when we were in there with her mother's body, I had this sense of peace that this is just an earthly shell. And we were able to just think of it that way. And we were just sitting in that room and we were saying, this is just a shell. Mom's not here anymore. Mom's in heaven. I wonder what Mom's seeing right now. I wonder what joy she's experiencing. And all these just joyful thoughts came to our minds, and the Lord was really gracious to us in giving us those thoughts. It makes me think of Revelations 21, when John says in verses 3 to 4, and I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, see, the home of God is among mortals. He will dwell with them, and they will be his peoples, and God himself will be with them. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. Death will be no more. Mourning and crying and pain will be no more, for the first things have passed away. What a promise that is, that we have something to look forward to, where death will lose its sting, where we will no longer weep and mourn. What a blessed promise that is. So I just want to challenge you that as our theme for this year is focus, how is your focus on the Lord helping you through the tough times in life? Death is inevitable. Grief is inevitable. That's just a part of life. But are you ready to meet your Maker? It may be beautiful right now, but honestly, right now I am standing right across from a mausoleum, and all these people, they had no choice. That was what we all end in death. So my question to you is, are you ready? We have a way of kind of romanticizing the gospel message, and we look to John 3:16 as our gospel message, that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but will have eternal life. Well, I firmly believe that, but I also believe that there is a cost to believing, and there's a cost to discipleship, that we can't just sit there and say, okay, I know Jesus. But do you really know Jesus? My challenge to you comes from Matthew 7:21 through 23. And these are Jesus' words. He says, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father in heaven. On that day, many will say to me, 'Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and cast out demons in your name, and do many deeds of power in your name?' Then I will declare to them, 'I never knew you. Go away from me, you evil doers.'" Wow, Jesus' words are really biting there. We tend to romanticize his love for us as one weight in some ways, but really, we really need to think about, how do we know Jesus, and how does Jesus know us? So my challenge for you as we seek to focus on Jesus is, are we living in a way that death will have no sting? Are we living in a way that life, when it ends, and it's inevitable, will be met with the Lord meeting us and saying, "Well done, my good and faithful servant"? That is my prayer for each one of us, that we will all be able to say that we are ready to meet our Creator and our Maker, that we are ready to go forth and experience heaven joyfully. So my prayer for you, have a great week. Sorry if this was a downer, but that's just where I've been at, so bear with me. Thank you. Love you guys.